Ventura County's sports station, 1450 AM, ESPN.
All right, Scott Erickson, here you go. Sorry for making you wait, buddy. World Series 1991 with the Minnesota Twins. What are you up to now? I hear you just got a coaching gig.
I am the High A pitching coach for the Cleveland Indian baseball team.
Oh, there you go. So were you
the Carolina Mudcats.
The Mudcats, yeah.
Located in Zebulon, North Carolina.
That's a fun name.
Exactly. It's right outside of Raleigh-Durham, though, so it's not too bad.
Oh, there you go. So you're going to have some fun out there. So you're going to do some traveling. We know you live down in the Malibu area, so you don't mind traveling, which you've been doing your whole career with baseball, huh?
Yeah, I love it, actually. It's great to get on the road and travel different cities, different restaurants, and see different ballparks and different people. So it's really a lot of fun to get out on the road and see our country.
You started off Twins, then you went Baltimore Orioles, Mets, Rangers, Dodgers, even the Yankees. My partner here, MJ, is a big Baltimore fan, so he's over here. He's all excited that, you're an Oriole guy.
I actually am wearing an Orioles hat from when I went back to Camden Yards this summer, and I was in town in the Baltimore area when you had your little stint with them for a couple of years.
Nice. Yeah, I had a great time there. What a beautiful ballpark, great fans, and those first few years when I was there, we had a pretty good ball club. Made the playoffs a couple times and had just a great time.
One of my favorite ballparks in Major League Baseball, and I know you've seen a ton of them. How does Camden Yards compare to some of the others in the majors? It's
amazing. It's basically the one that kicked off the HOK Architectural Company. That was their first one. Chicago built their new Comiskey Park, and I think the next year the Orioles opened up with their new park, and it looked like Chicago had an old stadium from the 50s all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And all the new stadiums that have been built after that have been all done by HOK, as far as San Francisco, Colorado, Texas, all these great new stadiums are all done by this company.
You were there in '96, I believe, when Cal broke or '95 when Cal broke the consecutive game streak.
'95, and I pitched the game 20-30, which was the record-tying game.
Yeah.
And the next night, Mike Messina pitched the record-breaking game.
How is it being in that building with such a monumental record falling to such a great guy like Cal, especially when he hits two home runs?
It was a crazy, there's electricity from the moment everybody stepped inside the ballpark before the first pitch was thrown. The place was just electric. And, we finally pushed Cal out of the dugout to get him to do the rally lap, basically as his celebration lap, and then the game resumed. But it was like a 20-minute lap around the stadium, and it was quite an experience and great thing to be part of.
I remember I was actually in 4th grade when that happened, and everybody was going nuts. The whole city, the whole state lit up.
Yeah, even guys I talked to on the Angels now are like, yeah, we were there that day. That was so amazing. That was the visiting team. And I remember I threw like a 5-hit shutout or something, and it wasn't even mentioned in the paper the next day.
Talk about our good
friend. Have a good game, but it was awesome to be part of the experience.
Too cool. Scott Erickson here. Now, listen, you also won World Series with the Twins 1991. You've got some great highlights in your career. World Series, being there with Cal Ripken Jr. Is there one moment that is your absolute favorite?
Well, winning the World Series is the ultimate goal growing up as a kid. And the way we won the World Series in that 91 series with the Braves, 7 games, 5 going extra innings, the last game going 1-0 in the bottom of the 10th. That was like the most incredible World Series I think that's ever been played, and to be part of it was amazing. And I was more nervous in that 7th game sitting on the bench. I was soaking wet. It was crazy. And, to this day when I hear We Are the Champions by Queen, I still get a little chill.
Too cool. World Series ring, do you keep it on, or are you having it in a special place?
It's under my socks.
Your big hiding spot, huh?
Lisa says all the time, you should wear your ring to events, and I really should, but I've never been one to really wear baseball stuff, hang baseball stuff in the house, or really talk about it a whole lot. So I need to wear it more often, especially to baseball-related events, and hopefully I'll start doing that a little bit more.
Does it weigh your hand down a little bit? Is that the issue?
Actually, it kind of makes it rise with all the bling on there.
Yay!
I keep checking what time it is, it seems like.
Nice. Now, being with the Mudcats as a pitching coach, you're going to be starting in North Carolina. Are you going to maybe break it out to show the young kids, hey, this is what you strive for?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that'll be the way to do it. They're going to say, man, I was even born back then. So, I don't want those kind of comments.
When you won the World Series with Minnesota, was there a big parade up there in Minnesota for you guys?
Yeah, we did have a parade, but it was pretty cold that time of year up in Minnesota. We had gotten back from the White House, about a foot of snow had fallen that day, and it basically shut down the whole town. But about 3 days later, we had the parade, and it was pretty fun. It was awesome.
Do you, do still pitching or some type of routine just to keep yourself in shape?
I like to go work out. In fact, I went today. I play a little golf. I do a lot of charity golf events and things like that, and that's not necessarily staying in shape, but you are out moving and doing stuff. But I do still enjoy going to the gym. So, yeah, I like to stay in shape.
Well,
I always said I'd never be one of those guys that turned into a 300-pounder once I finished playing, so I got to live up to that.
Bo and I went to the Dodgers spring training over at Camelback Ranch earlier this year, and in the little fan area, they had a speed zone where they have a radar gun, they see how fast you pitch. I think Bo topped out at 49 miles an hour.
Proud.
So,
well, you probably weren't loose.
Thank you, Scott.
He had 4 pitches, and he topped out at 49. So if you had one...
It shows you how amazing it is when guys are throwing 99.
Yeah, exactly. One piece of advice to get Bo over the 50 mark.
More legs.
More legs. Push off. Okay.
Yeah, get a little drive.
Get a little drive. I'll work on that.
You got to start doing some squats, buddy.
Is that what it is?
Squats and sprints, yeah. You want to stay flexible.
Well, you know what? There's another spring training right around the corner. I'll be ready. I'll start training.
I can't wait. In fact, we'll be out in Arizona as well. The Tribe is in Goodyear.
Oh, yeah. I just saw the schedule. I think you're playing the Dodgers a couple times.
They eventually will, yeah. Yeah, I think they play everybody down there at least twice. There's about 15 or 16 teams.
Now, the facilities are beautiful down there. Did you have good ones when you were in training, or were you at some old rinky-dink facility?
It was old, but it was pretty good. I was in most of my career for spring trainings was in Florida. In fact, I never had a spring training in Arizona, but I heard that place was great. But we were in the old Yankees Stadium in Fort Lauderdale for 9 years. I had spring training there, which was a great town, and it was just the big league team, and the minors were over in Sarasota, which was kind of strange. The stadium that we played in was pretty good. It was pretty good in a great area.
Now, you played with the Yankees for a year towards the end of your career. George Steinbrenner, possibly one of the greatest owners in the history of the game. What was he like just on an everyday basis interacting with him?
You know, he wasn't around a whole lot, and when he did come around the stadium, he was sitting in a golf cart and kind of just drove around, and everybody was so afraid of George that they kind of just it was like partying the Red Sea, so to speak. You know, he went on his golf cart, and people just kind of moved away from him. But, yeah, he was definitely one of the greatest owners and did all he could to make the Yankees the great organization that they are.
And speaking of some of the great owners, players, Mike Flanagan, who recently passed away earlier this year, was your pitching coach with the Orioles, probably one of their greatest pitchers, one of their greatest coaches. What was it like being under his tutelage and learning from him while you were with the Orioles?
Yeah, he's the favorite pitching coach I've ever had, so it was really sad to hear that, first of all. Yeah, he was a great guy. And his calm demeanor was a great thing that I'm going to try to bring to my attempted pitching coach skills. So he was a really good guy, a great pitching coach, and it's very sad that what happened. And that I was lucky to know him.
Are you still close with any of your former teammates that you really keep up with them?
Yeah, a lot of guys actually live kind of in the L.A. area that play golf together and do different charity events. And you see guys all around the country at different charity events. And but Chili Davis was my first, my roommate in Minnesota, 91 and 92. We still talk. He just got the Oakland A's hitting job, so he's very excited about that. Paul Sorrento, who was actually my first roommate in the big leagues in 90 when I got called up, just got the hitting coach job for the Angels in the California League, so he's pretty happy about getting back in the game as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of good dudes that still kind of hang out, play golf, and stay in touch.
Oh, that's great, Scott. We're glad you're doing well. We wish you the best of luck with the Mudcats. Hopefully we could touch base with you once the season gets started. You could talk about some new up-and-coming talent in the Cleveland farm system there.
Spring training, hey, if you're in town with the Indians, stop on by. We'll see if we can meet up over at Camelback Ranch.
Sounds good. I'll be over there in Goodyear, which I think is about 20 minutes west of the airport.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, pretty close.
Well, thanks for your time. We appreciate it, and we'll definitely catch up with you.
All right, guys. Sounds good.
Ventura County's sports station, 1450 AM, ESPN.